Hey guys, Provo1701 here, and today we're going to talk about the 14th Doctor and what I want and expect from the 14th Doctor. Well, maybe not expect, what I want. Of course, there is the rumor going around that Jodie Whittaker will be stepping down from the role of the Doctor at the end of season 13. Again, it's just rumor, but I've already done a video talking about that. And naturally, if that is true, then someone will have to come in to be the 14th Doctor. Hopefully. I don't think they'd cancel the show this close to the 60th anniversary, though. So, I just wanted to kind of post a video talking about what I want for the 14th Doctor. I'm not going to list specific actors I want in the role. I might do another video about that. But just kind of what I want. Let me start off by saying all I really want from the 14th for the casting of the 14th Doctor is a good actor or actress. Can you say actress anymore? I don't know. I can't keep up with the modern lingo. All I want is a good actor. I don't care if they're a man. I don't care if they're a woman. I don't care if they're white. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're Mexican. I don't care if they're Asian. I don't care what color their skin is. I don't care what kind of genitalia they keep between their legs. All I mainly care about is that they're good at their job and that they're a good actor, that they have some kind of understanding of the show. I'm not saying they have to be a huge fanatic fan of the show, but I want them to have some basic understanding of the show before they're cast. And I want them to do some research on the character. While I do want them to kind of do their own take and make the role their own, I do want them to do some basic character study of the character they're taking over. And I want them to really want this role. And more importantly, I want them to invest themselves in the role, and I want them very much so, because I feel like this is something the 13th Doctor has not done, is to pick a direction to take the character. Make it your own. Do something with it. By the end of the first season, I should have a very good grasp of your Doctor. Well before the end of your first season, honestly, I should have your Doctor figured out pretty well. My complaint with the 13th Doctor, and isn't necessarily Jodie's fault. I like Jodie Whittaker. I've seen her in other stuff that I enjoy her in. Is that her Doctor's still kind of a question mark. After 2 seasons, I still don't fully have a firm grasp on her. I definitely want to have this Doctor figured out. Like most doctors, I've got them figured out to a point. And those to me are the best doctors, the ones where you know their mannerisms and where they're going. And especially, I want this Doctor to be self-confident as well. I want them to have that confidence most doctors have. The 13th Doctor does not. She seems to doubt herself. She has a lot of self-doubt. She gets really nervous and uncomfortable. I want the Doctor to be more like like say John Pertwee or Tom Baker, these confident doctors who are sure of themselves. Even the modern series doctors like Tennant and Capaldi and Smith, they seem very sure of themselves. That's what I want. I want a very self-confident Doctor. But yeah, I don't mind what the person who is cast looks like physically, or whether they're gay, whether they're straight, whether they're trans, whether they're bi, whether they're human binomial. I'm not actually sure what that is, but if that's what the actor chooses to identify themselves as, that's perfectly fine. It does not matter to me. I don't care about their political beliefs, if they're Republican, if they're Democrat, or whatever the British equivalent of that is. If they're for the Queen, if they're against the Queen, I don't care. I really want someone who will leave their politics out of the show, and I certainly don't want someone cast who's going to badmouth the fans. That is not a way to endear yourself to the fandom by trashing the fans. I want someone who's going to give the fans a chance. But I also say to the fans that they should give the actor cast a chance, because there are some toxic fans out there. So I think the fans need to give whoever's cast a chance, and I think whoever's cast needs to give the fans a chance and not just openly attack them. But I am excited about it. I would really like to see, moving into kind of what I want from the Doctor, I prefer doctors more like Troughton and Tom Baker that have kind of a silliness to them but can be serious when they need to. Eccleston was really good at this. I don't want a dark Doctor. You know, we've seen a lot of dark doctors in the modern show, which don't get me wrong, you saw that in classic Who. Sylvester McCoy is probably the darkest doctor. But I want, I'd love to have another doctor like Troughton. Troughton's very much an innocent doctor by comparison. You know, he's a lot like Columbo in that he uses he wears this false persona as kind of a bumbling fool when inside he's really 3 steps ahead of everybody else. And he's really good at lulling people into a false sense of security and trusting him. I'd love to see another doctor like that. Now, sadly, and it really is sad, I don't know if a doctor like Troughton's could work today. And don't get me wrong, every doctor since Troughton has some of Troughton in them and some of their performance. I do really think Troughton is the template for, if not every doctor, most other doctors that have come after him to some degree or another. But I don't know if, like, someone who is really more of a carbon copy of that kind of Troughton mannerisms in his doctor, that kind of innocent, sweet, nice doctor, I don't know if that could work today. I don't know if a modern audience would accept that or not. I would, but I don't know if a modern audience would. But I'd love to see something more like that. The more angrier, grumpier doctors, like, say, Hartnell or TV Colin Baker or Capaldi in like season 8 to season 9, early season 9 Capaldi don't really work for me. That's why Capaldi tends to fall lower on my list just because of the first half of his run. The second half of his run's a lot better. I love the end of season 9 and season 10 Capaldi a lot, but I didn't like season 8 and the first half of season 9 Capaldi very much. He grew on me as his character evolved. I don't get into grumpy doctors. I really want a doctor that cares, too. A doctor who can talk to their companions without getting flustered and not knowing what to say. I want a doctor who actually knows what to say and is there to comfort their companions. So, yeah, this is a bit of a ramble. But that's just kind of what I want from the 14th Doctor. As for, like I said, the actor who's cast, all I care is that they're a good actor. This is what I want you to do when you're casting the Doctor. And I doubt Chibnall will do this because I don't trust Chibnall. I really want Chibnall to leave at the end of season 13 because I don't like him. Even though I do think series 12 was decent, but at the end of series 13 I want him to go. I don't because if he stays, Chibnall will be the one who picks the next Doctor. I don't trust Chibnall to pick his nose, so I don't want him picking the next Doctor. Because I'm worried he'll go in. I don't want anyone to go in thinking, well, I know I want a woman. Or I know I want a black person. Or I know I want a black woman. I want them to go in thinking, you know what? I'm going to interview all of these actors that I'm interested in and that are interested in the role, and I'm going to pick the one that does best at it. Don't exclude any potential actor because of their race or their gender or their sexual orientation. If there's an actor who is interested in the role that you think might be a good fit for the role, give them an audition. Audition 50 people, audition 100 people, and the one you cast? The one that auditions the best, regardless of anything else. The one that does the best audition. Because, I don't want to hear that anything from the BBC about, well, we wanted to go back to a white man because that seems to work. I don't want to hear that. I'd be pissed off if all they auditioned was white men. I'd be furious. But at the same time, if I found out that they auditioned everybody else but white men, I'd still be furious. Because that's exclusionary. You excluded one group or more than one group from your audition process. And being exclusionary is literally the exact opposite of diversity. So if the BBC really believes in all this diversity that they preach and preach and preach and preach on, then be diverse. Interview everyone. Interview white men, interview black men, interview Mexican men, interview Asian men, interview German, interview white women, interview black women, interview Asian women, interview all these potential actors and actresses just to give them a chance to see what they could bring to the characters. That's so much to ask, And if you happen to see somebody, regardless of what they look like, that, you're like, that's it, that's the one, they are the Doctor. Cast them. And hopefully we can get this show back on track. Although, again, to be fair, I actually enjoyed most of Series 12, more than some people seem to. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. If I said, for some reason, if I said something that offended you, sorry. Check out my main channel, Prowl1701, PROWL1701, where I talk about all things Star Wars. And most importantly, stay safe and thank you for watching.